This is the latest immigration news. I felt it's so important for me to share this news with you so that you can know what is happening in the UK. You prepare yourself financially and also understand your value and your worth. See, the first news was published by the Migration Advisory Committee. Is an annual report that was published on 17th of December 2024, and the other one is majority of Britons receive more in benefits than they pay in taxes. This is just one headline that has been online right now. You need to understand what is happening in the UK. How is it going to affect your pocket? What are you paying for as a migrant? Someone that works, some of you work more than 60 hours a week. You need to understand what are the implications with respect to this. If you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Cynthia. I share information that will help your transition abroad to be as smooth as possible. I share information about settling, working, or studying in the UK. If you're interested in any of these, then subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell so that each time I drop a new video, you know it's time to watch Cynthia Academy. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your love and support. Thank you. You guys are really amazing. And without wasting time, let's get into this video. Looking at the report published by the Migration Advisory Committee on 17th of December 2024 shows the impact that migrants have on the UK economy. See, they say that the average migrant who comes to the UK on a skilled worker visa contributes 20 times more than the average UK-born adult. Remember that Sir Keir Starmer said one of the things he's going to do to drive down net migration is by employing people who are British first. Now, by doing that, it means that they will reduce this gap in employment and they will stop relying on international or skilled laborers from outside to come in to fill in those gaps. Now, this is one technique he wanted to use, and he feels that it's going to be an effective technique to reduce the net migration. Now, the report published by Mark shows that this might not work, and it is not a one size fits all. It's not saying that it will not work at all entirely, but it's just that there are some sectors that it would not work. The reason for it's not working is that they have already done an assessment and they have discussed with employers and asked them why they rely on international workers to fill in those sectors. And these people are saying that sometimes the international workers are more productive. They don't go out saying they want to employ someone who is abroad or a foreigner. They just set the terms and conditions of what they need. So when they put in that job advertisement out there, people from different parts of the world, including people who are British, apply for those jobs. And what they do is they select the best that they feel they need. And by doing that, sometimes it ends up being a foreigner. And you and I know that if you're a foreigner, there's just a lot of rigorous steps that an employer needs to go through before they employ a foreigner. But yet that does not deter them from going ahead to employ that foreigner. They would employ someone that will help them maximize their business goals or achieve their business objectives. And that is why employers are still reliant on international workers. Now, what the government is saying is that what if we train domestic staff? What if we train these people? And wouldn't they be able to fill in those roles? What the Migration Advisory Committee is saying is that there are some sectors that even if you train people, it doesn't stop you from employing people from abroad because of pay and conditions. We all know that foreigners are likely to take in those poor conditions of pay and and conditions of work. Maybe the environment is not so conducive. They are willing to take the aggressive condition, no matter how tough it is, especially in the care sector. Many people who are British do not want to do that job. And if they decide to do that job, maybe it is their family friend or somebody that they love, grandma, grandpa, somebody like that. That's when they are willing to be a carer and stay back and just take care of their loved one. And the government can pay them while they are doing that. But if it is to do it for someone else, as in totally strange. Many people are not willing to take up that role, and that is why they are heavily reliant on international workers to fill in that gap. Now, this report further goes on to explain other things I felt is so important for you to know. See, the reason why they said that the average skilled worker, that's migrants who is on skilled worker visa, contributes 20% times more than the average UK born adult, because some people think, oh my goodness, okay, you guys are coming here, you are using free NHS. The truth is that these people will pay for visas, they pay for IHS fees. In some cases, yes, they pay for IHS fees, which are quite exorbitant, and also the fact that most of them come in when they are young and don't use much of the healthcare system in the UK. You hear some people complain that, oh my goodness, I've gone from student worker visa to a postgraduate visa and then to a skilled worker visa, and I've not been to the hospital. I've not used these IHS fees I've been paying so much for. See, IHS fees is £1,035 a year for skilled worker visa, and if you're on a student visa, it's £776 a year. So what does this tell you? This tells you that, see, if you decide to come into the UK, try and work on getting high income skills. Don't get stuck there in care or somewhere and feel that this is the only answer for you. This is the only option you need. You need to earn more because you need to gather enough money to pay for these visa fees. They are not smiling, They are looking for ways to further bring down net migration. In fact, if you keep reading in this report, it says that the policies that the previous government put in place were actually effective in bringing down net migration because it reduced by 20%. However, they are saying that, okay, yes, it's working and it will continue to work. However, they still need people to fill in these gaps in employment. And the only way they can fill in these gaps in employment is by recruiting people from overseas. Now, I know this is not something many people want to hear. If you are British, you might think, oh, this is not what I would want to hear. Can't they just bring it down, reduce it? Someone has to do some of these jobs. Now, the latest report I wanted to also share with you is this one that is published by the Telegram. It says that majority of Britons receive more in benefits than they pay in taxes. If you are British, you know that you are you have accessible benefits. There are a lot of them. I'll just list some of them on the screen. This is just what someone can have access to if they get to the indefinite leave to remain and maybe become a British citizen. But if you are on a visa, I'm talking about skilled worker visa, global talent visa, student visa, all these type of visas, you cannot access any of these benefits. In fact, the ones that you can access, there are few, and it's not everybody that might need it. Okay, state pension is normal. We are talking about maternity pay. That one is something that you can access. See, if you are struggling, you don't know which one is public fund or which one is not public fund, I feel you should contact the Citizens Advice. You can contact them. They will advise you on what you can use and what you cannot use, so you don't make any mistakes. There are consequences if you use something that is public fund when you are not allowed to do so. Now, this report is just telling you 52.6% of people who are British use benefits. Just use more benefits than they pay in taxes. And so it means that the government is carrying more people. And you might be questioning, okay, why are they using these benefits? Some of these benefits has something to do with disability. This place is big on taking care of people who are vulnerable, who are elderly, and some of these things is due to sickness, and since sickness occupies one big aspect, or someone that not just sickness, also childcare, it means that such people will not want to be able to work like that. It's tough. If you decide to have kids in this country, you know how it's difficult for you to have childcare because childcare is quite expensive. Now, these are some of the things that are reflected, and it speaks volume. It speaks a lot to you that, see, you need to find a way. Even when you have, gotten your ILR, you still need to find a way, because it is tough. You are likely to want to take benefits while you stay at home and take care of your kids than deciding to, okay, let me go out there and work, and after working 80%, 85% of my pay goes to childcare. Many people would prefer to, okay, let me just take child benefits and stay back and take care of my kids until a certain age than going to work and then you pay somebody else. So the government is thinking of how to put in welfare bill reforms to sort some of these issues so that they can drive more people to go out there working. They need more people to work. You remember that they announced one time, is it 1/8 of the population that are meant to be working are not working. That's what they announced. So there is a need to actually push more people to go out there and work. So this is just a sensitive information and sensitive thing that I felt, okay, let me share with you. And in my opinion, I feel that many of us need to go or target high paying jobs, yes, that maybe can be remote. High paying jobs that can be remote, maybe that would be able to help you to take care of your child, while you're doing it. And I feel soon I will share with you some of, some ideas on how you can go about things like this, so you can work from home. You don't need to pay for childcare, but you are still paid high paying job, something better than care, because as a carer, you still have to save up for something. You might be dreaming of buying a house. Where will you get the deposit for that? There's a limit to how much you can get as a mortgage based on what you're earning. They check what you're earning before they decide whether they want to give you a mortgage or not. And it's so difficult for many people to leave care right now. Well, all I can say is, if you don't have passion for it, find a way to get out. If there are some skills you brought from your home country, look for a way to work it out and get out of that sector. I don't have anything against care. I was a carer when I was in Nigeria, but I love doing it. It was free, it's voluntary, it's something I enjoy doing. But I know that there are some people that right here in the UK, they're not doing it because they are passionate about it. They're doing it because maybe they have a family and they don't pay IHS fees or something like that. But I just want to say something based on the news that was announced. I see you. You are providing a huge service to the UK economy, and also taking care of people who are elderly or children. You are making a huge impact. Yes, you are paying taxes, but at the same time, when it is time, move. You're not a tree. Find a way to get some training. You don't need to go to university to do some of these things. Get some training and move. If you want me to share information or ideas on how you can go about that, please write it in the comment box. I read my comments a lot. I read, I respond. Please let this not be an opportunity for us to insult anybody. Please, let's not insult anybody. This is a very nice and friendly channel where we are trying to come to an understanding. How can the government tackle their problems? Where are the needs of the UK economy? How can you fit in with your skills and experiences? Let's not insult anybody back and forth. Yeah, all of us are working towards the same goal, which is to achieve the best we can, to grow, to develop, to become better, to excel, to, take care of our families. That's what we are all after. And I'm just saying to you, as a migrant, you have a huge impact and you have a huge value. You bring something to the table. So do not be downcast. Lift your head up. Do your job. Do what you need to do. Move on, move on and keep growing. Keep growing in whatever you do. The only way you can bring more money into your pocket is by getting jobs that there is a perceived higher value it has in the economy. And that's how they are willing to pay £50 an hour, £500 a day, something like that. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.